Hi guys, Piotr here. This is Liteforex Global YouTube channel. As you can see behind me, on the great weather, well, it's happened from time to time. Now, the next big thing when it comes to the FX market is going to be UK GDP quarter to quarter, preliminary, as well as month to month. 1 hour after, we are going to get the Bailey, governor of the Bank of England, speech. So that's the one side of the coin, right? And taking into the consideration what we've seen lately with the pound after the move above 130.80, there is a quite good development, and bulls, at least looks like, they feel comfortably. The thing is that I do not expect some great stuff when it comes to the GDP. Of course, everything is supported by the Bank of England and the government. That's the number one thing. And at some point, well, you have to get back to the reality, in my opinion. The second thing is, and we've seen currently the rejection because of that, is there is no possibility to get the EU-UK Brexit agreement by the mid of the November. That's been confirmed by both sides, and there is a little bit of the rejection. So we are going to check the pound, and we are going to discuss cable. We are going to discuss the euro pound, and probably we are going to have a time to look at a few more. So without the further delay, let's jump straight inside and check few charts. Right, guys, let's start with the data. To be honest with you, much weaker what market was expecting. Preliminary GDP quarter to quarter, 15.5, 15.8 expectations. Monthly GDP 1.1, 1.5 expected. Industrial production 0.5, 0.9, that was the expectations. Pound USD, we have to quickly start with the monthly and weekly, and I'm quite surprised that, for example, yesterday we didn't quite move a little bit higher from the monthly. If we are going to talk about the possible swing high, even 134 could be in place, but still we are inside the September range, so that could be the topish of that range. And of course, if we are talking about the bears, monthly close below October, that's what sellers are looking for. Similar situation on the weekly chart. Also quite surprised that we didn't finish the business when it comes to the weekly swing high. In that case, I'm also surprised because the minimum was here around minimum target was around 33.55. But we've seen the rejection yesterday, quite strong rejection yesterday, and you know, when it comes to the UK data, there is always some kind of the leak, either a little bit earlier or a little bit later. That's how the things looks like. We have to say that straight, right? So yesterday rejection, as I mentioned earlier, the combination of the no agreement still when it comes to the Brexit, and probably some already knew that we are going to get the weak data. So be careful of the selling rumors, buying the facts this time. Anyway, where we are when it comes to the daily chart on the cable, I do expect that the buyers around Tuesday low, all right? It's also in relation to the weekly open. That's not gonna be, that shouldn't be surprise for us. We are talking about the levels close to 31.50 and the lower towards 30.80 So we talking about the top of the broken range. So between 31.50, then 31 and 30.80 as the possible buying levels. When it comes to the sellers, based on yesterday price action, we have possible sellers around the possible swing high 32.85, 33.10. So that's how I see the pound for now, and that's the in play Tuesday range, right? Of course, if you are going to move higher, then the levels discussed a second ago, even towards 34, based on the weekly and monthly, could be in play. So, intraday chart, we are testing the demand zone based. We are testing the demand zone based on this rally, right? 50% been tested. Yesterday low, stops taken out, so there is a possible space to go a little bit higher. How high can we go from here? This supply, as you can see, during the Asia, so we might take out the Asia, we might to make the measure of the move to the downside like this, move to the upside like this. So the swing high from the daily could be in play. So again, buyers around current levels, sellers around 32.85. Euro pound. Euro pound. As you can see, I'm trading a bit of euro pound here. From the daily chart perspective, right? We hit some stops yesterday, all right? And we've seen a little bit of the recovery yesterday. We've seen the yesterday daily close above Wednesday close, all right? So that's positive. And we might see a little bit of the rally of current levels. How high can we go? I think that the first target is 50% of that Tuesday range, right? So that's where my first target. Second target is this swing low breakdown, right? So the top of the Tuesday range. So my targets are within or inside the Tuesday range. Of course, if the bulls are going to be able to get back and close above Tuesday open, Tuesday high, so we are talking about the levels close to 89, 80, 90, so 90 psychological level again, we might again try to turn bullish with the first target towards 90.50. Any kind of the daily close below yesterday low will add fuel to the bearish side. If you are a buyer but not holding yet, you are watching the possible swing low combination, especially that is within the very important range. So in that case, combination of the yesterday and Tuesday low as possible buying opportunity if you are a bullish. From the intraday chart perspective, there is a possibility for some kind of the inverted head and shoulder here. So if that's the case, that's how I see the turnaround on the euro pound. Pound yen. Well, lately we've seen the yen weakness with all those yield stories, right? Right now, after the veteran days in US, the US yields a little bit off of the eyes, so yen crosses fighting for now. So bulls have to be very, very careful. Anyway, Pound yen, weekly swing high. So I think we haven't seen end of this possible rally, all right? As long as market is going to be able to close above 138.50 on the weekly chart. So we might see levels close to 140, 141. From the daily chart perspective, all right? Also, I think that's not the end of the rally. I think that we might see some kind of the retest of this 140.80 because of this supply being broken, as you can see, right? So a little bit higher levels could be in place. But from the daily chart perspective, from intraday chart perspective, the sellers currently around the possible swing high, right? So around 140, I see the sellers around the 140, and I think that the buyers around weekly open down towards 136.70, 136, the zone we just put over here. Okay, what I'm gonna to look for from the intraday perspective, we have a nicely visible rejection, but from the intraday perspective, the intraday demand zone is being tested right here, right now. So I'm gonna be very careful. I already have some exposure when it comes to the yen via dollar yen, euro yen. So here I'm going to look very carefully how the market is behaving around yesterday supply zone, and I'm going to look to fade any kind of the rally towards 140 just from the intraday perspective. Of course, more to come. So overall, huge Bank of England and government support on the one hand, where bulls were playing upside, the continuation we've seen with the break of 130.80 on the cable, but a little bit back to reality when it comes to the pound. So that's gonna be very interesting how the bears are going to behave. Again, I'm not the bullish. We discussed both cases, bullish and bearish, but my bias on the pound is still to the downside in that case. But it's worth to remember what kind of the levels we are testing. Weekly level line in the sand. Be careful, guys, out there. Don't be trapped, and see you around. Thank you. Goodbye.